I first realized I might be famous when a stranger stopped me on the street for a selfie. It was bittersweet. I'd just been identified as the ugliest person on television. Also known as the fan favorite Pepper from FX's hit show American Horror Story. I know, I'm a secret real-life hottie. But give me a Hare Krishna haircut and 3 hours in the prosthetic makeup chair to apply my fake brow, nose, ears, arms, chest, teeth, and eyeball, et voila. I mean, creepy microcephalic creature. At first, I figured it was just some glorified extra role, like I was just one of an army of pinheads. Why would this hot new TV show, featuring big names and even itty-bitty roles, want to pay me, top of show, to shave my head and play the most batshit crazy in the asylum? What was this, an episode of Punk'd? Was Ashton Kutcher in the bushes? It got weirder. Pepper was abducted by aliens, then returned to Earth as Jessica Lange's consigliere, singing and dancing, pepper, pepper, go pepper, delivering babies and monologues, not just later in the season, but for a whole second season, with an actual arc and my very own Peppisode, for which I was even considered for an Emmy, making Pepper the first crossover character in the series' history, thus changing its entire paradigm. None of this was normal, by the way. This was among my first bookings. I'd done plays and commercials and an episode of Father Dowling Mysteries when I was 15, which at 37 was still on my resume. My award-nominated one-woman shows had enjoyed twice extended sold-out runs and rave reviews at the Edinburgh Fringe, London's West End, off Broadway. But as far as Hollywood was concerned, I was going on 22 years of auditioning, getting callbacks, on a veil, pinned, then nothing. Not even a crappy co-star. Waitress number 2 to the left. Oh, but I played waitresses everywhere except on TV. Power lunch spots to Latin nightclubs. I even worked a week at the Cheesecake Factory, till they made me buy white jeans. Bitches with big booties don't need to be wearing that. I modeled nude in art classes, danced for money at bar mitzvahs, taught Spanish at the Playboy Mansion, even drove the Red Bull truck into the West Side Pavilion. I forgot about the giant can on the top. People hired me to do anything except act. To make matters worse, my love life was in comparable disarray. I was embroiled in a torrid, star-crossed affair with a Mexican lover named Gabriel. He was no archangel, but those broad shoulders, ripped stomach, thick, muscular arms, a large Aztec warband wrapped around as much of his bicep as he could afford. He was a sewing machine repairman, broke even in Mexico. Not that I was any better, remember? I was close to becoming famous as the worst waitress in restaurant history. But in his eyes, I was a star. He saw what no one else in Hollywood did, made me feel like a celebrity when I couldn't even get booked as background. Our passionate affair ended dramatically after he drunkenly dangled himself off the Santa Monica Pier and fell 40 feet down onto the street below. He sustained multiple broken bones and a traumatic head injury, spent a week in a coma, a month in the ICU, and $2.5 million of taxpayers' dollars. I sat by his bedside, willing him to renounce his wild ways and awake a sober Jesus freak. Instead, he woke up ordering mixed drinks. Within days, he was storing weed in his cast. How do you score pot with a catheter on? The red flags were smothering me. I had to let him go, without any semblance of closure. The details of his life-altering Mexican jumping bean would be my cross to bear. We never even broke up. We just said adios. Tears streamed down my face as I put him back on that plane to Mexico. It was either that or build a ramp in my crappy one-bedroom. Eventually, we got on with our lives. He did jail time, both here and in Mexico. Hit and run, drinking and driving, then possession of marijuana, got deported, and managed to amass 3 baby mamas. I became Pepper. So, right about that time, I was being stopped on the street for a selfie. A long list of crazy things happened. In 1 week, my IMDb star meter skyrocketed from 93,000 to 3,000. The next week, to 300. I hung out there for a while, sandwiched between Brad and Angelina, then shot up again to 10, 5, 3, 3, 3. God damn it, Zellweger, for changing her face. Then suddenly, number 1, making me the most searched in its entire 8 million person database. I was on top of Ryan Gosling. Which was exactly where I'd always wanted to be. Later, on set, I did a double take. Was that my chair? It did read Naomi Grossman. Then, online, I had to zoom in. A blue check mark next to my name. I was trending as memes and animated GIFs and tattoos, often poorly placed high on guys' inner thighs. Pepper for President posters were popping up on telephone poles. TMZ was jumping out of the bushes at me. eBay sellers awaited my arrival at LAX to sign their Pepper Funko Pop figures. Yes, there are official action figures and authenticated trading cards and licensed Halloween masks sandwiched between Freddy Krueger and Donald Trump at your local Halloween superstore. There's a wax figure of me at Universal Studios theme park, and scores of partygoers dressed as me every Halloween. I traveled to 44 Comic-Cons in 52 weeks, from Australia to Amish country. Do they even get FX? Even the brethren shower me with fan art. Paintings, carvings, sculptures, ceramics, weavings, dolls, mugs, t-shirts, pendants, pepper shakers, all of which are displayed in the Pepper Room of my WeHo condo, which I bought without a rascal sales. I've been asked to officiate fans' weddings, present at award shows, speak at my alma mater, Northwestern, and appear before the same disability advocacy groups from whom I expected hate mail. I get direct offers for roles in zombies and vampire rom-coms. And when I do have to audition, the casting director actually looks up from her cell phone. Perez Hilton praised my red carpet style. Pop Hope actually made news of how supposedly beautiful I am. Entertainment Weekly called my casting the best of 2012, and IMDb named me one of 2014's top 10 breakout stars. Suddenly, I'm in this cool kids clique that goes to the Golden Globes and Emmys. There, Lady Gaga kissed me. All the while, paparazzi snapped and later splashed our photo across the tabloids and trades. Zach Galligan, the guy from Gremlins, even asked me to be his date. Is that what famous people do? Just pick who they want to go out with? We also go to gifting suites. I just took my mom on an all-expense-paid vacay to Jamaica because apparently stars never pay. Or do we? I've had friendships falter, my privacy compromised, been used for my cachet and connections. I had a closeted gay boyfriend string me along 2 years while he led his double life because he liked all those parties and perks. I remember back when I had nothing. I had just lost Gabriel. I found solace in the old Spanish proverb, mejor sola que mal acompañada. Better alone than poorly accompanied. I finally have what I always wanted, but no one with whom to share it. So what if the Brazilian internet breaks every time I tweet in Portuguese? I may be big in Brazil, but size doesn't matter. What is fame without someone to share it with? One day, in the height of the peppermania, I was invited to a Comic-Con in Mexico. 14 years since I seen Gabrielle. Seemed like enough time. It was like shooting up just a little bit of heroin. Just the tip. I couldn't go see fans and forsake my first. I had to see if he'd finished that tattoo. He must have wanted me to see it too, because he jumped on a bus and rode 10 hours to meet me. There he stood, incredulous, in a sea of Mexicans behind a barricade. Imagine Trump's wall blockading the throngs of rabid fans from storming me. Like when the Beatles appeared on Ed Sullivan, they screamed, "Naomi, te amo!" Held signs proposing marriage and bore gifts. Pepper in a sombrero, pepper on a tortilla, hot pepper, jalapeno sauce. I watched Gabriel as he watched me, sparklier and skinnier than before, with a constant queue of fans choking back tears to take a selfie with me. Last time he saw me on stage, I was doing bad improv with more performers than there was audience. He'd missed the memo. Hadn't even heard of American Horror Story. If the multiple contusions and pronounced edema didn't do it, now he was really mind blown. We all want our exes to see us succeed, but rarely do we get the satisfaction of seeing them see us succeed. Is success the best revenge? That weekend, we laughed, we cried, we fucked. I finally got to tell him what happened the night he fell. Sure enough, between those 4 fateful pictures, his subsequent subdural hematoma, and the seemingly ceaseless morphine drip, he blacked it all out. For all he knew, I'd abandoned him. He had no idea I was by his side the entire time. He wept as he realized the entirety of the life he'd lost. With tears in his eyes, he said, "You're the best thing that ever happened to me." And I blew it. And I objectively agreed. I waited 14 years to hear those words. It was better than being number 1 and on top of Ryan Gosling. The question remains, is success better shared? He feels like a detour I'm not trying to take. The price I paid for fame was great, but hardly compares to the $2.5 million you and I already prepaid for this relationship in hospital bills alone. So until I'm better accompanied, I'm okay not sharing my spotlight, even if that means it's not as bright.